Hey guys, J77 here. I'm doing a very quick vlog. It is 6:39 on a Tuesday evening actually. Um, in case some of you guys have not known, especially those who didn't live in the East Coast, we had an earthquake. Wasn't too serious. It was pretty much a magnitude tremor that went along the in Brooklyn. It was and surprisingly I didn't notice until I really started looking around and noticed that the building was shaking. I was in the coffee shop, the same one I'm recording right now, and it was a lot of people around. Everybody was working the computer. Everybody had headphones on, and I noticed the bench shaking. Now, at first, I didn't think nothing of it because everybody had computers, and it was possible that somebody was listening to music. But then it started wobbling. I mean, just really wobbling, like you know how the ocean is with the waves and the small waves going back and forth. And that's when I started realizing is that if the person was shaking his leg, this is a very hard shake. But then I started realizing that the tables was moving, and I was moving along with the table with the tables. And I noticed in the corner of my eye, right to this wall here, that the pictures was moving and the walls were moving. So I know something was not right. At first I'm thinking maybe they're doing something downstairs, but then it just dawned on me, this is not normal. So I turned over to the person who was working next to me at the computer, and I said, "Do you feel that?" She said, "Yeah, I feel it too." And then everybody around who was doing the computer almost said the same thing. Yeah, we felt that. Got off my computer, walked over to one of the people who were serving the coffees, and they said, yeah, they felt it too. Another guy came out and said, yeah, they felt it too. So obviously, this was not a normal thing. So when I went outside the coffee shop, a person who was also regular like I am, she smiled at me and said, yeah, I felt it as well. And I said, wow, we had an earthquake. That is the second earthquake that I have been in. The first one was in the 80s when there was a major earthquake. I think it was 85 or 86, but it was major earthquakes. It hit California, and then it trickled down here. It wasn't a major one. It was a big, long shake, but it woke us out of our beds. So when we felt it, we were like, boom, we moved, and that was it. Then the news forecast said that New York got hit with a mild aftershock. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't scared because, like I said, it was like, it didn't occur to me that we was having it. It was a like a wave. But again, if it wasn't for the fact, if it wasn't the people who was not next to me, and I know I wasn't doing it because I wasn't listening to music at the time, I probably would have panicked a little bit. I probably would have ran outside to see what's going on, and I did run out. But it wasn't like, because, oh my God, the earthquake, what should we do? I ran out to see if anybody else felt that same, that same feeling, that vibration feeling as I did. So I went outside. I went next door to, I think, a massage salon, and they just looked at me like I was nuts. So obviously they didn't really care, so I just left. But yeah, it didn't scare me, but at the same time, it reminded me that New York City, a great city that this is, I love this city, really is not prepared for an earthquake. If a major earthquake were to hit this city would be in serious trouble because, when I saw the building, and it was wobbling. It wasn't just like, a little shake. It was wobbling like it was made out of, paper. And imagine if that thing would have really hit, this whole place would have collapsed. So that's something that, it's like a reminder that, hey, look, hey, it's serious. Don't play around with that. And unfortunately, I got to be more mindful of being serious about stuff like that because Washington, they were more panicky than New York was. Because like I said, New York, everybody went about their business like it was nothing. Washington, they evacuated some buildings. Everybody was on the street. They even closed the Smithsonian, for what I understand. So they were more cautious, whereas I was, at least. I was, didn't think about much as before, but once I started realizing there was something more else going on, I, immediately went out and checked, and when I was outside, I realized what really happened. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. Only the second time I ever, went through that. But yeah, but in New York, the city it is, I'm a little bit nervous because, like I said, if major earthquake hits, and we do, and New York do get earthquakes, so just upstate. Now we're nowhere near the city, but when they do get an earthquake, I don't think the city's prepared for it, and I think that people really, New Yorkers need to embrace themselves for that because it can't happen. It can't happen. We can't get a major one. It's just, I'm praying that we don't, but we can't get a major one, and we have to be more aware of that, especially me, because, like I said, I didn't think nothing of it at first until that thing happened. So, according to the news report, it started in Idaho, worked its way to Virginia, and pretty much throughout the East Coast. So it hit New York. I don't know if it hit upstate, but I know it hit New York, and it pretty much traveled down. So anyone who was in that area really had felt it. So, but everybody's okay. There was no injuries, thank goodness, and but if anything, it just a little reminder that we need to be aware that New York is not touchable. It's not immune from earthquakes, and we need to be better prepared. So that's basically it. Hope everybody's enjoying their week so far, and until then, I'll talk to you guys later.